gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about damage. Not as such damage that you do, but blocked damage. Yes, blocked damage. How to get some blocked damaged shots, or how to block how to block shots, how to get some block damage, basically. So there's a few different ways. There is a few different ways you can get some block damage. So basically, bounce their shot. So you want the enemy to shoot you, but to bounce their shot. And you want either your armor profile or other factors to play a part of helping you so they don't penetrate their shots. So there are a few different ways. So off the top of my head, there's about 5 different ways that or 5 different kind of bounces that you can get. One of them is, of course, hold down. So hide your hold, because that is the weakest point and your turret is the strongest, so you only want to show your turret. So that's one way. The other way is the opposite. So you've got a really strong hull, but you've got a weak turret. So of course you don't want to go hold down, because they're going to penetrate every single shot. So you want to show them your front plate as much as possible. The third way is side scraping. So you've got side scraping, where you show, obviously, you've got really strong side armor and you side scrape, so they see your tank, but it's not enough to penetrate. So you've got that. You've also got thing that not a lot of people talk about, really, and that's called auto bounce zones. So pretty much every tank, even tanks with no armor, have an auto bounce zone. So where you're angled a certain way and they shoot a certain part, it's a guaranteed bounce. So you've got that. And of course, lastly, last but not least, you've got luck. You have to have sometimes a bit of luck to get some bounces. So we're going to go into game, and this tank in particular that we're going to show, this is more about being in a hold down position, but you always have to play to your tank's advantage. And what I mean by that, so basically this tank here, the Centurion 5-1, it's got a strong turret. It's not got a strong hull, so you're going to want to play it hold down. Other tanks like the ISs, you know, or the T22, the IS-7s, the IS-4s, they have extremely strong side armor. So you want to sort of try to side scrape as much as possible, where you go to a building, end of a building, and you angle from that building. And that's pretty much the best way for tanks with strong side armor and a strong front plate as well, because don't forget, if you are side scraping, then you will be showing some of your front plate as you try to take a shot. But tanks like this that has extremely strong a turret, then you want to play this on a ridge. Now there are loads of tanks out there, like loads of tanks that all have strong turrets, and yeah, I mean, this is the best way to do it. But you've got to try and get on a ridge, but not to the point where you are showing some of your hull. Just like this dude's doing here, like 1,000 bounce block damage straight away. Now, what you don't need to do, or what you've got to get out of the habit of doing, just because you've got a strong turret, don't get on a ridge and think, I'm going to bounce everything that comes my way. Because if you're just sat on a ridge, like say like this dude's doing here, and just sat there, yes, you might bounce a few shots, but you might not bounce everything. So you still need to make it as difficult for the enemy to penetrate you as possible. So yes, if you're in a hold down position, they can see your hull, but I'm sure there's a lot of tanks out there that have weak points. And if you just sit still without moving, you're giving them the advantage. You're giving them the advantage, and you're going to make it easy for them to aim at your weak point. So you need to make it as difficult as possible for them to penetrate, even if you are in a hold down position. And it's the same as side scraping. You know, if you're side scraping, you can still wiggle. you know. And it's the same when you have a strong hull, when you have a strong front plate. Don't just sit there in the open and think, well, I've got a strong front plate, like no one's going to penetrate me. Or if you've got a strong upper plate and you face hug someone, don't just sit there and try to get the bounce. Like, make it difficult for them. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And that'll just make it a lot difficult for them to be able to pen. So as you can see, there are a few different ways that you can get bounces. Now, sometimes a bounce is the difference between winning or losing. Like, honestly, it is the difference between winning or losing. This guy here, he's bounced 1,500. So he's already, yes, it doesn't seem a lot, but that's equivalent to around 3,000 on in tier 10. So he's already bounced more than his hit points. So if he wouldn't have bounced all that, he would have been dead. If he would have been dead, he wouldn't have been able to do the 3k damage that he's already done, the kill that he's already got. So it would probably be a 4 versus 3 at this point. So bouncing shots is extremely important, like very, very important. And again, look, it's gone now up to 2,620. A lot of it is luck. Like this guy here, like the bounces that he's just done there, he's not playing the tank now to its advantages, but he still managed to get a bit of block damage. So that is luck. That bit there was luck. But at the start of the game, when he was playing it to his advantages on a ridge, then that wasn't luck. That is what this tank is capable of doing. And he put that in a position where he's capable of doing it. So people just need to bear that in mind. Like, do it more often, you know. Things like T110 E3s, it's extremely strong turret, put it on a ridge. IS4s, it has very good armor when it comes to side armor, put it on a corner, you know, angle, side scrape, do anything you need to try and get that bounce, them bounces, because bouncing, as I've said, is the difference between winning or losing. And this guy now has got 3.2k damage, 2,600 damage. Who knows? We can't sit there and say if he wouldn't have got this damage, it would have been a loss, because we don't know. It may have been, it may not have been, but we're just guessing at that point. But it's definitely something that people need to start doing more. They need to start learning their tank. And they're learning their tank they're going to play. So, of course, if you're going to play a T49, then, yes, you're not going to see these videos and think, how can I get a bounce on my T49? Because the T49's not made for bouncing. It's not made to get that block damage. And it's a light tank. So you're very rarely going to get a bounce, only if you're lucky. But again, luck is part of the process. You still need a bit of luck once in a while to get these bounces. Other times you join a game and you're in a tank like a VK72, extremely strong armor, and just nobody knows how to deal with it, and they're just shooting for the fun of it. Of course, that comes under luck, you know, coming up against enemies that just do not have a clue. That comes with luck as well. So you do need that bit of luck, but don't make it easy for the enemy team. Put your tank where it is best at playing to its advantages. If it's on a ridge, if it's on a corner, if it's in the open, you know, just play it to its advantages. Learn your tank, and then you will get better in that tank. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. That is how you get bounces. That's how you get some block damage. Put it to good use, and you might start winning some more games. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye. With